Absolutely 100%. Tess Holliday can be both morbidly obese and have atypical anorexia nervosa and be malnourished. The three terms are not mutually exclusive. It is possible to be all three of those things. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and today I'm going to be answering two questions for you guys. The first is, can Tess Holliday be both morbidly obese and diagnosed with atypical anorexia nervosa? And the second is, can Tess Holliday be both morbidly obese and be malnourished? Last week, I had uploaded a video and it was called, Is Tess Holliday Anorexic or Just Craving Attention and Lying for Profit? If you guys haven't seen that video, I'm going to include a link right up over here to it, but spoiler alert, no, she does not have atypical anorexia and she's just lying for profit. And on that video, I ended up getting a ton of responses. There were a lot of comments and there was also a lot of misinformation going on in the comments section, particularly around atypical anorexia nervosa, or what exactly it is, and malnourishment. So I wanted to discuss those briefly in this video right over here. I had already discussed it in that last video, but I discussed it toward the end, and most people don't watch my videos to the end, so obviously they didn't see the part about atypical anorexia nervosa. But a lot of people seem to have this misconception with atypical anorexia nervosa. Basically, what atypical anorexia nervosa is, or actually before I even get into what it is, I want to read one of the comments on the post. One of the comments reads, "To those who just skim the comments, Tess is absolutely not atypical either. Atypical category recognizes those with a normal or slightly above normal weight range." I want to emphasize that right there. Normal or slightly above normal weight range. And no, that is not what atypical anorexia nervosa is. Atypical anorexia nervosa is basically meeting all of the requirements for anorexia nervosa. The only requirement that is not met is that despite significant weight gain, you are not at a normal, or you are not below normal weight. Your weight can still be normal or above. And I'm going to read the actual textbook definition from the DSM-5. If we go to the DSM-5 under other specified feeding and eating disorders, atypical anorexia nervosa is defined as all of the criteria for anorexia nervosa are met, except that despite significant weight loss, the individual's weight is within or above the normal range. Within or above the normal range. It does not specify that it has to be slightly above the normal range. So you can technically be morbidly obese and still be diagnosed as somebody that has atypical anorexia nervosa. The two are not mutually exclusive. And let's get into exactly what anorexia nervosa is. That way we have a little bit of a frame of reference so we know. Under anorexia nervosa, there's basically three diagnostic criteria that somebody has to meet. The first, restriction of energy intake relative to requirements, leading to a significant low body weight in the context of age, sex, developmental trajectory, and physical health. The second is that they must have an intense fear of gaining weight or of becoming fat, or persistent behavior that interferes with weight gain even though at a significantly low weight. And then the third requirement is that they must have a disturbance in the way in which one's body weight or shape is experienced, undue an influence of body weight or shape of self-evaluation, or persistent lack of recognition of seriousness of the currently low body weight. So those are the three requirements, and in order to be atypical anorexia nervosa, or to be diagnosed with atypical anorexia nervosa, you must meet all three of those minus the being underweight. So Tess Holliday, is it possible that she has atypical anorexia? Well, no, it's not possible for her to have it, but somebody of her size could be diagnosed with atypical anorexia nervosa. Let's use her as an example. Hypothetically, let's say that prior to going on Twitter and telling everybody that she was recovering from anorexia nervosa, let's say she weighed 400 pounds and then she ended up restricting her calories either through restriction or through binging and purging, and she managed to get her weight down to 300 plus pounds, which is what she is roughly today. And also, during that time, she had an intense fear of her body image. She was afraid that she was going to gain weight, so she didn't want to go back up to 400 pounds. Under those circumstances, absolutely, yes, Tess Holliday would be diagnosed with atypical anorexia nervosa. The problem is that she doesn't meet any of those requirements. She doesn't meet the energy restriction requirement, she doesn't meet the intense fear requirement, and she doesn't meet the requirement of having a disturbance of her own body image. And this is evident, if you saw the last video, you already know, but this is evident in several ways. First, let's go on to the first requirement, restriction of energy relative to their own requirements. If you've actually seen any of her stuff on Instagram or anything on Twitter, she's constantly posting videos of herself eating food. It's either cakes, donuts, it'll be platters of deli meats. She's clearly not restricting her energy intake. And if she is, she's doing it through the action of binging and purging. So she's eating all of these foods and then purging, but I don't believe that to be the case. And even if she was, that is just one of the requirements. She definitely does not meet the other two. And if we look at the other two requirements, The second one is intense fear of gaining weight or becoming fat. Well, if we look at her actual Instagram post, there's her posting a ton of pictures of her gaining weight over the years. So if she had an intense fear of gaining weight, then she would not have been posting these pictures, and she would not have gained the weight to begin with. But here she is saying sometimes a fat girl just really needs some cake, so clearly she's not afraid of being fat. Here she is saying, today, my fat ass got the first shot of the word that I'm not allowed to say, otherwise this video is going to get demonetized. Again, she's calling herself fat in multiple posts, so she doesn't have a fear of that. If you're fat and thinking about getting your stomach tattooed, this is your sign to do it. F your beauty standards, and there she is again, you're calling herself fat and just using the word fat again. And then she did something saying being fat with, and I'm assuming this is a podcast. So clearly she does not have an intense fear of gaining weight or of becoming fat, because her lifestyle basically led her to the point that she is right now, where she is morbidly obese. Now, the third requirement, disturbance in the way in which one's body weight or shape is experienced. Does she have that? No, she absolutely does not. If she did have that, she would not post close to 6,000 images on her Instagram profile. All of her images, or at least most of them, she's not wearing very many clothes, so she's pretty open and puts herself out there for everybody. And if you really were disturbed in your body image, you would not do that. You probably wouldn't post any pictures whatsoever. Or if you were going to post pictures, you would definitely be fully clothed, not in lingerie or naked covering your boobs with your hand. But anyway, let's go on to some more Instagram posts to see if maybe she is disturbed. This first one, confident girl things. Doesn't sound like she's disturbed to me. I never dreamt that I would be this happy in a fat body. Okay, doesn't look disturbed. Haven't felt this cute in a minute. Again, doesn't seem disturbed. Feeling so cute. Hope your Saturday is as cute as me. Again, she seems very, very happy right now. I've been working too damn hard to not show this body off properly. Again, seems pretty confident. I can't even believe I look this good. She's more confident than I am. Being a fat mom, I'm pretty confident. I can tell that you are, otherwise you would not have posted 6,000 pictures of yourself. I'll be showing my fat tummy a lot. Deal with it. Again, very, very confident. And this last one, can't fake this kind of happiness. Well, if it is true that you can't fake that kind of happiness, then you are 100% faking having anorexia nervosa, because the two, you cannot reconcile those two. You're either going to be very happy in your body that you claim to be a fat body, or you are going to be very disturbed at the way that you look. Both can't be true. So you're either lying about having anorexia nervosa, or your entire reputation and your entire career has been built upon a lie. Which one is it? And that's pretty much it in terms of the actual part about anorexia nervosa. The other thing was one of the comments in the comments section of my video, it had to do with malnutrition, and somebody said how it's impossible for someone who's morbidly obese to be anorexic because somebody who's suffering from anorexia needs to also be malnourished. I'm going to read the comment. It says, when I think of people who have died from this illness largely due to organ failure or malnutrition, and when I look at someone who is morbidly obese and lacks clear signs of malnutrition, I want to emphasize that part right there. Someone who is morbidly obese and lacks clear signs of malnutrition. Now, this is just a fundamental misunderstanding of what exactly malnutrition is. Absolutely 100%, Tess Holliday can be both morbidly obese and have atypical anorexia nervosa and be malnourished. The three terms are not mutually exclusive. It is possible to be all three of those things. In Tess Holliday's case, it's not possible for her because she's clearly lying about anorexia nervosa, but she could absolutely be malnourished. Let's take her as an example. If she got to the weight that she did by eating absolutely nothing but, let's say, Coke, crackers, and that's it. All she ate was Coke and crackers for the duration of her entire life to get to that point, then she would absolutely be malnourished, because the definition of being malnourished is not getting enough of one or more key nutrients in your diet, or getting too much of one or more key nutrients in the diet. Then within malnutrition, we have subdivisions. I broke this down in another video. It was called What Exactly is Malnutrition? If I remember, I'll include a link right up over here. But basically, with regard to malnutrition, we have subdivisions. We have overnutrition and undernutrition. Overnutrition is when somebody consumes too much of a particular nutrient or nutrients, and this is what is commonly going to be found in something like North America. Whereas undernutrition, this is the form of malnutrition that most people think of. This is when you see those TV ads about people in these third world countries where you could see their ribs. This, when we're talking about undernutrition, this is when somebody is going to be consuming one or more key nutrients. They're going to be deficient in that one or more key nutrients. So it is absolutely possible for somebody to be both morbidly obese And you can also be malnourished. You can be consuming too much of a particular nutrient, or your diet could just be very, very poor to the point where you're not consuming enough. Let me use myself as an example now. Let's say that all of a sudden I decided to say to hell with everything that I'm eating right now. I don't give a crap. I just want to drink Coke and eat bread all day. Right now, I consume anywhere from 6 to 7 liters of water a day. If I were to replace that 6 to 7 liters of water with 6 to 7 liters of Coke, regular Coke, the one that has all the sugar in it, and then I replaced all of the food that I ate with just bread, and let's say I ate 2 loaves of bread every single day, by consuming 6 to 7 liters of Coke and 2 loaves of bread every single day, I would become morbidly obese. Even though I would become morbidly obese, I would still be malnourished at the same time because I'm going to be lacking a lot of essential nutrients. Basically, what we need to function optimally, we need essential amino acids, we need essential fatty acids, and we need vitamins and minerals. If all I was consuming was Coke and bread, I would be missing certain essential amino acids. I would also be missing the essential fatty acids, and I would be missing a lot of vitamins and minerals. So I could absolutely get to the point where I'm malnourished despite being morbidly obese. And this is true with anybody. If you are morbidly obese, you can absolutely be malnourished. In Tess Holliday's case, I don't know whether she's malnourished or not. I would assume that she is, just based off of the type of diet that she is consuming. But those are just a couple of the things that I wanted to clear up from last week's video, just to eliminate some of the confusion that has been going around. But anyway, that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys have any questions or any comments, go ahead and comment down in the comment section. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to make more of these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.